Nottingham Forest, a club built on history, on miracles of European domination, once kings of the continent under Brian Clough, and now a modern giant just desperately try and find its way back to the top. But this time, the pressure is real because in this save, we're dealing with that hothead chairman. He wants success right now. No excuses, no patience. One little slip out of touch, he is there ready to give you the sack, wanting that success. So our mission is real simple, but it's definitely not easy. Let's rebuild this squad, craft a winning system, survive the chairman's temper, and take Nottingham Forest back to where they belong, on top of that European Championship. This is the Nottingham Forest rebuild. Please leave a like, hit the subscribe before we get into it, and let's crack on. There we go. We are officially hired as the Nottingham Forest manager. As we take control, we have the newsletter through, and we have got to try and keep this chairman a little bit happy. Socrates has come in and said he needs to reach the latter stages of Europa League first season. Finish in the mid-table. That's quite generous. I'm not going to lie. I know that they were fighting a little bit of relegation before Daesh took over, but I'll take that. Be competitive in the FA Cup, be competitive in the Carabao Cup. He doesn't really care about the cups. That suits us. I don't mind that at all. Now, with this Forest side, we've got a few players in here that I'm super excited to play with. Nikola Milinkovic is going to be a phenomenal centre-half that I want to use all the way through this save. Nicholas Dominguez looks like an absolute exquisite centre midfielder that I want to use. He has unfortunately got an injury that's going to see him out for 2 to 3 months. So the latter stages of the first season is when he's going to come back in. After his rehab, he's going to be straight back into the team. Ibrahim Sangori is going to be a fantastic centre midfielder, holding centre midfielder as well, that could just sit behind Dominguez or push forward with his 15 passing. Another baller of a player in that midfield. The midfield is pretty much locked down because we have pretty much Mr. Nottingham Forest, Morgan Gibbs-White now, moved from that ball side. Can't wait to use him. Up front, we have a toss between Chris Wood, who I think managed to get 20 goals last season in real life. Fantastic one for him. But we did bring in a 25 million striker in real life. Kalimuendo, he looks really good for us as well. 15 acceleration, 14 pace, 30 jump reach, that's 16 finishing with the 14 technique. He is going to be unreal. Now, there is a lot of players in there that we can't use him. I haven't mentioned yet. Elliot Anderson, that's just moved from Newcastle. Hudson Odoi is in there as well. There's a lot of players that we go through. You'll probably get through them through the rest of this rebuild. This is the tactic they're going to play. I have a video on my YouTube channel, which is this tactic, which has done us unbelievable scenes. So we're going to put this into this play. Try and use it. You can download that if you want to. There's a link in the description for this video, so make sure you check it out and go get it and try it out. If I was to quick pick this 11 straight away, just like this is what it would go with. As you can see in this team, Sal's in goals, Zichenko, Murillo, Milinkovic, Savannah, Dominguez, Gibson-White, Anderson, Hudson-Odoi, Ndoye, and Awonini up front. I think I'm going to take Awonini out and put in Kalimuendo. And that's probably the change that we're going to make. And that's how I'm going to run this team this season. Now, recruitment is a little bit slim as we only have 5 million to spend. So I don't think we'll be making any transfers in the market. I think this is going to be a one season where we just play through, tactic done, and off we go, ready for that next season too. So let's get the start of the season. Let's see how this tactic's going first, see how some players are going, and then go from there. Our first game of the season hit off to a wonderful start. We picked up a 6-2 victory over Brentford. Kalimuendo gained on the score sheet, proving why we chose him as number 1, but Awonini was not happy with that. He comes on the bench, scores 2 goals. We then pick up a massive away victory against Crystal Palace 3-0, but not everything can go the way that we wanted, as we then travel to Arsenal and lost 6-1. Yeah, they only had a 2.63 XG with 10 shots on target compared to our 6. We lost 6-1. Not happy. We then played our first game in the Europa League, and it's going to be against Salzburg. Away from home, not the ideal start there. Salzburg are going to score 2 goals pretty much down the same side of the field, something that we might have to look at, and Sal's just not even being there was a bit concerning. So after a 2-0 defeat, that puts us 35th in the Europa League, but it's only the first game, so we're not going to worry about that. It's perfectly fine. That's not a problem. And the Premier League sees us sitting in 11th with 3 wins and 3 losses. The fact that we've actually scored 15 goals and conceded 15 goals, that's kind of made me laugh in 6 games. But we're going to try and lock in now, get to January, and hopefully form has improved a little bit. We see ourselves heading into January. A couple of players have gone off for the African Cup Cup of Nations, which is absolutely fine. One of them being our main midfielder as well, which is a bit of a concern for Abraham. But we have got our top goal scorer so far. That is going to be Kelly Mwendo, who was on 9 goals, and also Morgan Gibbs-White played in that advanced playmaker position as 8 goals with 7 assists as well. So we managed to get some assists, but the thing is, the form is not going too well in the league. CSL's currently sitting 12th position. We have 10 losses to our name, which isn't good. I'm not too happy about that, I'm not going to lie. And when you're losing to the likes of Burnley, you know it's not good, as Burnley did get a 3-1 victory over us. We were just shocking in that game. But we did start to turn things as we heading into that January period, as we get a 3-2 over Brighton. Anderson getting on the score sheet, and Dui getting on the score sheet, and also Sangare getting on there. Shamey's gone to the African Cup of Nations now. We also picked up a 4-1 victory over Everton. That was a massive result for us. And then playing Spurs at our place and managing to pick up a 1-1 draw. Now, it might not seem significant, but pretty much that is a top of the table Tottenham Hotspurs there. They are leading the Premiership right now, so that's pretty much a good result for us. Now, the Europa League is looking a lot more comfortable as we moved ourselves up to 13th place, picking up some big results. When I say big results, a 9-1 victory against Lech Poznan. That ain't too shabby if you ask me. We also picked up wins against Freiburg and Panathinaikos. Puts us in a good position as we are heading into this January period. Once again, we literally have no money whatsoever, 3.5 million. I can't really do much for that. I think we're going to have one season, get the Premiership wrapped up, see where we are in Europa, and then push on for next year and start the rebuild properly then. So let's get to the end of the first season and we can go from there. Now, we got to the end of the season and there is a mixed bag of emotions going all the way around here. The Premier League doesn't look too good, managing to finish 10th in the league. Now, I think they'd take that at the time being, but I know they want to be a little bit further up there. Losing 18 games is not the answer. Some good wins in the league as well, picking up a 4-2 victory at home against Arsenal. 2-1 victory against Manchester City away from home as well. That's a great result. And another away victory against Chelsea with 3-2. Dominated them, really. Did CSLs get into a semi-final of the Carabao Cup? It was a little bit too much to ask for, as Manchester City did beat us on aggregate 2-1, and then they went into the final as well and won it. So to lose against the champions, I don't really mind that. Now, the Europa League kind of took a little bit of a turn for the worse. As you can see, we only got into the knockout playoffs, finishing 19th, winning 3 games, 2 draws and 3 defeats. In the playoffs, we did have to come against Sturm Graz. We picked up a 2-1 victory at home, and the away leg was quite a wild one, a 4-4. They had a man sent off in the 21st minute as well, so the fact that they scored 4 goals past us with only 10 men, unbelievable. We then drew Bordeaux Blint, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, we pretty much destroyed them. 4-1 at home and a 3-1 victory away from home. Then that put us up against Go Ahead Eagles, which we won 5-0 at home, and then a 1-1 draw in the second leg. That put us through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Our first game away from home is going to be against Roma. We picked up a 0-0. We are then going to go to the 65th minute in our home tie, and it's going to be Hudson who's going to play the ball all the way across, and there is Callum Hudson-Odoi to give us a 1-0 goal and a victory against Roma to see us into the final of the Europa League in just season 1. In the Europa League final, we are going to play Real Betis, and they are going to hit the ground running. Within 2 minutes of the game, Isco is going to give them a 1-goal lead. And then they doubled the tally just 16 minutes later. Anthony with a fantastic run, going to put it through, a little Travalla on his left foot. 2-0 down in 18. And then in the 22nd minute, Anthony, yet again, is going to give them a 3-goal lead. Not exactly how things were planned to go. And in the 25th minute, we're going to actually pull 1 goal back here. Lovely little ball movement there. 1-2 is going to come across and an easy tap in there for Kilimundo. And then within 2 minutes of that, we whip the ball in. A clearance away from the header. Hutchison yet again going to pick up that loose ball. Lovely ball movement. Fan it around. And that is a fantastic finish for Gibson White as we go 3-2. And as we go into this second half, 57th minute here, we're going to use that ball. Dominguez back into the play. Hutchinson yet again, and there is Igor Jesus gains a goal for 3-3. The comeback, Istanbul, eat your heart out. We are here 3-0 down, and we go 3-3. And that then takes us into extra time, 112th minute here, as we look to push this ball. Hutchinson yet again moving the ball across, cleared away, doesn't get it out that far. Zinchenko's going to find that ball, finds Anderson, who puts it across the box, and there is Igor Jesus yet again. It's not actually, it's Sangare, and that is going to be us winning the Europa League in the first season. Now, Mr. Chairman, if you are not happy with that, I don't know what you will be happy with. Look at that for a comeback. Unbelievable. 3 goals down in the first 23 minutes. Somehow, in the 114th minute, we pick up the Europa League. Now, the board are going to be pretty happy with that, if I'm not mistaken. We do have Champions League football. We finished 10th, but we have Champions League football. A little bit wild, I know what you're saying. But we do have Kalimundo. He's going to be our top goal scorer with 19. Gibbs White's actually getting 14 behind him, and Callum Hudson-Odoi gained 13, all with 8 assists as well. So they've been linking up together quite nicely. Adam Doyle getting his 10 assists with 8 goals is pretty impressive. I wouldn't mind a little bit more from him just of how he is. We'll have a look what we've got and what we can offload. The board have given us £39,000. I hope that's a glitch. We have no money. This is going to be a fun season 2. Shall we skip to some transfers? Oh my days. Heading into season 2, and with the generosity of the board, we've kind of had to sell some players, and you know what it's like in the Premiership. Saudi come knocking on the door, and your players just won't go. So unfortunately, Morello, he leaves the club. £51 million they have spent on this Brazilian. He is getting £850,000 a week. I didn't even get that in my transfer budget. Never mind a weekly wage. Next to leave was Ibrahim Sangare. I really wanted to keep this player so bad. I wanted him to be the main player for the rest of this rebuild. But once again, Saudi come in, offer him £625,000 a week, and I just can't compete with that. Pick him up for £39 million, which to me is a little bit of a steal for him. And I'm so gutted to see this guy leave, but it's just one of them things that happens in Football Manager. We then lose Owonini. He didn't really play for us in that first season, so we've kind of offloaded him. 29 years of age. Got $6 million for him off Torino. I'm not too concerned about that one. He's not in our league. He's going to be away. We're probably not going to run into him. It's fine. And our last sale to Saudi was Nico Williams. £41 million. The Welshman has left us, picking up that £850,000 a week. To be fair, he's a very, very good player, but the money that they offered, I just had to get rid of him. I've brought a left back in that is going to be better than him. Personally, I feel, so I'm not too fussed, and we've took the money. And that left back for 30 million is going to be Nuno Tavares, only 1 year older than Nico as well. So I feel like we've done some good bit of business there. He's going to be my left wing back for the rest of this save. We also have Douglas Luiz coming in on a permanent deal. 21 million spent. He played so many games for us last year that he actually locked in a position in here, and we had to sign him. And then I brought in Arthur Avon Ebong, another centre mid. Obviously, we lost Sangare, so we actually brought in another centre midfielder here. Cameroonian, 21 years of age, £26.5 million was the deal. Really excited to use this player, and honestly, I think that is an absolute steal for him. We are still going to be rocking the formation that got us where we did and got us a Europa League title. So the team would look like this on paper for our best side. Now, we have got the 2 centre midfielders in there who are potentially not going to be the best one, because Anderson had a fantastic season for us last year. Gibbs White does what Gibbs White does. Hudson-Odoi might just be losing a little bit of pace there, but we could replace him out, put Gibson White on that left-hand side, and then bring in Ebong or our new signing that has come in there of Douglas Luiz. Our season opener goes off with a flyer as well at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as we managed to pick up a 2-1 victory for us. A great ball in, and Callum Hudson-Odoi on that left-hand side with a beautiful header. And then a nice ball that's going to be floated over the top there. Kalimundo going to get onto it. Lovely little shot. Buries it bottom corner, a 2-1 victory for us. Taking part in that Super Cup with winning the Europa League, we take on Barcelona. We held them to the 2-2, which is a very good sign heading into the Champions League, but we do lose on penalties. Morato, unfortunately, our centre-half, missing the last penalty that gives Barcelona the cup. We then carried on our pretty good form, picking up a 2-0 victory over Southampton. We picked a 1-1 with Manchester United and a 6-2 against Leeds. But our UEFA Champions League draw is going to be a bit of a different one here. Villarreal beat us 2-1, but we did then go to AZ Alkmaar and beat them 3-0. We still have some tough teams in the Champions League though, as we do face Napoli, AC Milan, Bayer Leverkusen, Bodo Glimt, Slavia Prague, and PSG. We currently sit 6th in the Premiership after just 7 games. An alright start, if I don't say so myself. Obviously, Liverpool are running away with it with Manchester City, 8 points behind them. We're not looking for that title. We're just looking for the Champions League. We're at the end of January, and we've had a mixed emotion of season and games. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but we're going to go through what has happened. Kind of went on a run. It wasn't the best, I'm not going to lie. Drawing to Sunderland, drawing to AC Milan in the Champions League, that's actually not a bad result. But Brighton we drew, lost to Manchester City, and then a 5-1 defeat against Bayer Leverkusen away from home in the Champions League. It's not very good. We did bounce back with a 5-1 victory over Sheffield United, which you'd expect in the Premiership, but Liverpool just decided to spank us 4-1. Not ideal. The bad form kind of carried on as we headed into December, losing to Liverpool, Fulham, wins against Aston Villa, Leeds, Bournemouth, but then we stepped into January and we turned a new leaf. A 4-0 victory over West Ham. We then lost in the FA Cup in extra time to Manchester United. I don't really mind that. Losing to Manchester United in the league though, I do mind that, but that's when things kind of change. Slavia Prague, we beat 3-0. We then go and beat Spurs 3-2. We pick up a massive result against PSG 3-2 at home. Elliot Anderson, Darren Doy, both getting on the score sheet for us, and then we pick up a 3-2 victory over Ipswich. That currently leaves the league table looking like this in the Premiership: 11 wins, 7 draws, and 7 losses. We have scored 45 goals, conceded 35. Kind of want to lower that down a little bit if I can, possibly. When you look at the likes of Man City, they've scored 68 goals and only conceded 23. That's a lot. So if we want to be in this top tier, we need to reduce the amount of goals we have conceded. We are only 5 points away from that Champions League spot though, so it's still doable in the Premiership. Just got to start cleaning up and getting some results. The Champions League though, we have to go through the playoff knockouts. Being of level points with Galatasaray and Spurs is a real kind of unlucky. We are just 1 goal away from being automatically into the last 16, but we've got to do it the hard way. We've got to go through the knockout stages. Well, you've seen Arsenal in there, AC Milan, PSG. It kind of just makes you feel like, okay, not too bad that we're actually in the playoff knockouts, but still, we've got to be doing better. Hopefully we can improve that. Mundo is doing fantastic for us though, managing to get 13 goals and 10 assists in the 37 games that he's played for us already. Dan Ndoye is also gaining us 11 goals, 11 assists. Amari Hutchinson as well, playing really well, gaining us 9 goals and 4 assists. Elliot Anderson as well, 9 goals, 4 assists. There's a mixed bag of goals coming in from everywhere, and it's nice to see everyone getting involved and doing really well. Top rating for us so far is Dan Ndoye. We've got to try and keep him. Elliot Anderson's playing fantastic, and it's always nice to see 2 of your brand new signings playing really well, again over 7, so nice to see the green lights on them. So now we're going to push on, try and get through the rest of the season, and hopefully we can get to somewhere nice. I really want to be top 4 or just around that area, challenging Champions League. Just let's be competitive in that knockout stages. If we can do that, I'll be very happy. We managed to get to the end of the season, and by God, what a season we have had. We went through some rough patches through that January period, December period. We come out the other end, getting into the Champions League playoff knockout stages. We're going to draw Aston Villa in this cup. So they've got a pretty good side, doing well in the Champions League. We did play them at their place, which is going to be a 2-1 defeat. We then hosted Aston Villa at our place, and I tell you what, we put on a show, and this man right here, Mr. Hutchinson, what a fella you are. Scoring us 2 goals to give us a 4-2 victory at home. That then puts us 5-4 up on aggregate to see us through to the next round of the Champions League. That is where we then faced Bayern Munich to pick up a 3-1 victory at home. It's nice to see the new guy gain on the score sheet and gain a little assist as well from the other new guy. Link up play. What will I see? Bayern then picked up a 2-1 victory at their place, but it wasn't enough, and it sees us through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I'm just going to let this zoom in, as we had one of the best Aprils I have ever seen in the world of management. We played Atletico Madrid. we beat them 4-0 at home. We then beat them 1-0 away. In that period of time, we beat Bournemouth 4-3. We beat Aston Villa again 1-0. We then beat Fulham 1-0. We beat Arsenal 2-1. We then placed Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. Calimundo, 2 goals, a 2-0 victory. What an absolute unbelievable scenes here. Then we head into May. Bloody Burnley beat us 1-0. I reckon that upset the apple cart. This is where Real Madrid just turned us over. Endrick gained the first goal. Of course he did. And then in the second half, they are going to pick up a second goal, drawing it to 2-2. Jude Bellingham getting on the score sheet for them. Unfortunate penalty is going to see, yeah, that's Bruno Fernandes, slotting it away for a 3-0 victory, going 3-2 on aggregate to see us knocked out of the Champions League. An unbelievable scene from us. Honestly, I'm super happy with the boys. First chance of being in the Champions League, we get to a semi-final against Real Madrid. Now, if the chairman isn't happy with that, I'm going to have some words with him. That then puts the Premiership looking like this as well. Whilst all that's been going on, the old excitement there, we do see ourselves sitting 6th in the Premiership, 19 wins, 10 draws, 9 losses. We're actually joint with Liverpool, or 4th. Once again, goal difference being the bane of our backside. I'm not going to lie there, but that is a massive step in the right direction. If we can get the right players in here, we can 100% push this for the Champions League. Now, unfortunately, we are going to go back into Europa League again, so I hope the board don't want us to win that, because I am going to be concentrating more on locking us in that top 4 position more than I am anywhere else. And we might have to start having a look at some players to bring into this team to help us out a little bit more. Calimundo gained us 24 goals over 57 games. It's good, but is it quite good enough? Do I need to bring in someone a little bit extra? Dan Ndoye is not going anywhere. Our top rated player all through this season, averaging a 7.21, 16 goals, 13 assists. I just don't think I can take that away from him. Maybe we have a look at some of the other players. Callum Hudson-Odoi only managed to get 4 goals, only played 11 really. Jota also only getting 6 goals for us. James McAtee, to be fair, he's been a substitution more than anything, so he's done all right. Maybe look to offloading though, or do we keep that Englishness into the team? There are some players out there that we've got to start having a look at. Maybe think about offloading them, get some money for them, and see where we can go there. The board has given us 56 million to spend. It's a lot better than what we had previously with that 35k. Let's do some transfers. I want to try and make it so we are pushing for that top 4. If not, we're in the top 4 now. I feel like we've got good reputation for the team, and we've got a good amount of money to try and do that. So let's try and bring some good players in and get that top 4. Into season 3 we go. We had that £50 million spare in a cash fund. That is from season 2. We had to kind of save that just in case they screwed us over into this year like they did the previous year. So what we did is we spent a little bit of that. We also sold a couple of players. Once again, Saudi coming in for some of our players, and I just can't say no to him. So Nicolo Savona actually left the club for £50 million. It's just not a £50 million signing, but we just couldn't say no. It was 52 actually. Now this one I did mess up on. Remember how I wanted Nuno Tavares to be our left back for the rest of the rebuild? Apparently, rumour has it, he has a release clause in his contract. Yeah, left the club. Left for £49 million. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. So, Nuno is no longer at the club. We've lost him. So, we had to try and find some players to get back into this and get this team cooking. And we did that quite well. Lucas Cepeda came in for us as a 24-year-old Chilean on that left-hand side there. A little bit of pace about it. Good dribbling, good crossing, good corners as well. Gonna try and utilise him. Feel free to use them like set-piece situations. And we only picked him up for £2.7 million. Cheap as chips. Sticking with the team. Another midfielder is going to be Alvaro Montoro, 20-year-old baller of an Argentine. Managed to pick him up for £14 million. I feel like he's just going to develop and be an unbelievable playmaker. We then needed a centre-half, and we brought in some English blood, 25-year-old Charlie Creswell. He looks unbelievable. And to get him for £27 million, I think that's a steal. But now, guys, just a warning. This one was a big deal. This next signing was a lot of cash. A lot of cash. We may have spent £72 million on Bradley Barcola. Yes, he is on a lot of money. I have gone all in, and we have I have splashed the cash. He is unbelievable. We had to go for him. He was available. He wanted to join the club some reason he wanted to join the club. And I said, okay, we've got the 59 million in the bank. We sold 2 players for nearly 100 million pounds. That's a lot of cash to spend. And we've done that. Bradley Barcola, welcome to Nottingham Forest. Our replacement for Nuno is going to be Alex Valle. I hope I said that right. He looks unbelievable. We have picked him up for £38.5 million. I think that's a great signing. He's absolutely rapid. I think he's a little bit better than Nuno. And he's younger as well at just 23 years of age. He does have a release clause in his contract at 74 million, but it's only for clubs that are in the Champions League. If I was then to go and select my top 11 players, no matter what, this would be how the team is going to be looking like. And this is probably how we're going to play start of the season. Cresswell comes straight into the team. Barcola straight into that team. Ballet comes in on that left back position. We started the season with an absolute bang as well, picking up 3 points away from home against Man City. Did anyone see that REBORN there? But it is going to be Ndoye gets a goal for us to give us a 1-goal victory over Manchester City. I am just going to show you the fixture list right now. We have not lost or draw. As Luke Littler's walk-on song would go, give me the green light. What you waiting for? We have got all greens, and the wonderful thing is, guys, we haven't conceded a goal in the Premiership yet. We have scored 9 goals, none conceded, 6 wins. And that includes a victory over Manchester City, a 3-0 victory over Newcastle, and a 1-0 victory over Liverpool. We also did beat Napoli in the Europa League as well, and then we got another win in the Europa League. We got to the end of January and things are going very, very well for us. In the Europa League, we finished top of the table there. 8 games, 8 victories, flying form, scoring 24 goals and 8 conceded. The form in the Premier League wasn't so pretty as the start of the season, but we are still picking up good results, and our new players are getting involved in the game. 2 of them linking up there. Barcola getting a goal for a 1-0 victory over Bournemouth. And for some magical way, we've picked up 6 points away from Manchester City. Is Pep a fraud there? I tell you what, though, Calimundo is unbelievable for us. This man is on fire this season. I'm having so much fun using Anderson. He has just been finding his feet in this club. Really, really nice to see him linking in and just becoming a centre front to that centre midfield position there. We did lose a couple of games though, I'm not going to lie. Let's not paint everything a pretty picture here. Brighton beat us 2-1, Everton beat us 2-1, and we lost to Liverpool away from home. You know what I was saying about Elliot Anderson being great? Yeah, he got sent off. Didn't help the situation. It leaves the Premiership looking like this. We are sitting 5th in the league. 25 games played, 12 won, 7 drew, and 5 losses. That conceding goals has soon stuck up on us. 21 goals conceded so far in the league. 16 goal difference, which is nice, but we're only 4 points off the title, who Brighton are running away with it. So yeah, crazy, right? Calimundo is getting us 20 goals this season with 2 assists. Bradley Barcola is getting 9 goals with 6 assists. One of our top rated players as well is Alex Valle, who's coming in at 7.33. Always nice to see our new signings getting them ratings there, especially when they played the likes of 32 games and 33 games. End of the season has sprung round and things are looking pretty well. We have done some very, very interesting things in this season. After that mixed bag of results, we kind of just upped our performance, really. Started playing really well yet again. A ball over the top there, find it across, and there is Mr. Gibbs White giving us a 1-0 victory over Arsenal. Then took that momentum from that Arsenal game into the Europa League, and we did play Bayer Leverkusen, and we get a nice goal to start us off. That just then opened up the floodgates for us to pile a lot of pressure on them and just keep scoring more and more goals. We ended up beating them 4-0 at their place. That's a 4-0 victory away from home. Honestly, I was just like, we are through to the next round, and this is because we finished top of the group. This puts us into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We then take on a Besiktas in Turkey. We pick up a 3-0 victory away from home, and then at home we answer with the exact same record. 3-0, 6-0 aggregate sees us through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Lille is our opponent in the semi-finals of the Europa League, and away from home, we are doing pretty well away from home. I'm not going to lie here. We pick up an early goal in the second half to give us a 1-goal lead. REBORN, yet again, he's been phenomenal for us. We then double our tally to a 2-goal lead by moving down this right-hand side. Ndoye, yet again, he is phenomenal. And there is Callum Hudson-Odoi for a 2-goal victory away from home. Then finish the job off with a 1-1 draw, putting us into the final of the Europa League. To be in 2 Europa League finals in 3 seasons is pretty impressive. Already winning one, can we win another one? Villarreal, the opponents here, and it's going to be a good game. We've had previous experience against Villarreal as well, and we've come up on top with them, so I'm looking forward to this one. And we are going to start this one pretty well. Within 2 minutes of kickoff, we get ourselves a goal. Barcola scoring for us. Nice start. We then run on and double our tally in the 10th minute, and just showing our dominance here already is a great ball through over the top, and that is going to be Barcola yet again proving his value was what it was. And we don't stop there with the pressure. The 25th minute, we're going to run down that wing. We're going to try and whip this ball into the box, and hopefully we can see another pass there, and we do. That is going to be REBORN gain on the score sheet to give us a 3-goal lead in 25 minutes. And we just literally piled the pressure on. 31st minute, and that is going to be Kelly Mwendo gain us a score, and that is gain us a goal for a 4-0 lead. And once again, it's not even half time. 34th minute, we're going to get another goal. Yeah, we are going to be 5 up within 35 minutes. Another great finish. Kelly Mwendo gain on the score sheet for 5-0. And in the second half, we just absolutely carried on that momentum all the way down the wing. An easy tap in, and Barcola gets his hat-trick in a Europa League final. Thank you, worth every single penny. And I think we're just going to break the history records here. We're going for a 7-0 victory in the final as Kelly Mwendo gets his hat-trick as well. 7-0 sees us lifting up the Europa League trophy. Look how good that looks as well on FM26. That looks fantastic. A nice little cutscene there. They've actually done this really well, and I'm super impressed with how they've done it. Our bald head shining in the background there as well. As we move it through, lift up the cup and say that we, Nottingham Forest, are Europa League winners for the second time in just 3 seasons. Get in there. Come on. With the Europa League done and dusted, that puts us in the Champions League yet again for next year. But we already did that with the Premiership as well. We finished 4th, an unbelievable season from us, finishing with 18 wins, 11 draws and 9 losses. 65 points, only 7 points off the title. Brighton have won the Premiership. Just show you where that, guys. Yeah. Brighton, Spurs, Everton. How have I not won the league? How have I not won the league? We've got to go into next year, and hopefully we can build on that. We do have 28 million in the bank. Board just don't give us money. Don't like spending money on us. I don't know what the situation is with him, but this man does not like giving us any cash. Let's head into season 4 and see what we can do in the Champions League. With us only having 28 million to spend in season 4, we didn't really do that much business. Did we kind of offload some players to Saudi? Only one, and that's going to be Lucas Kepeda. We offloaded him for £14 million. He just wasn't getting the game time, and obviously with Barcola coming into the team, he kind of takes that left attacking mid position there, so he's kind of just out the way. Callum Hudson-Odoi did go out on loan to Manchester City. The reason why he went out on loan, because if I show you this contract right now, if he plays 20 games, they have to give us £83 million. I could not accept that. That is an unbelievable amount of money. The players that I brought in, and I am going to absolutely butcher this one, so I apologise to any Norwegian people that are out there, or people that can speak Norwegian. Sondre Orgesta comes into the club. Now, it says there that he is a left-sided player. I am going to switch him, put him on the right side, purely because his right-footed is very strong, and I want him to run with the ball, dribble with it, and whip the ball in. That's what I want him to do. The fact we picked this guy up for £11.5 million is an absolute steal in my eyes. I'm going to work him into the team drip by drip, and then hopefully he's going to be something special. Ignore the fact it's £140,000 a week. Everyone wants stupid amounts of money now I'm in the Champions League. It's crazy what I have to offer people. And I finally got a little bit concerned about goalkeepers, so Silas Huber comes into the club. Another player that we picked up for just £10 million. It's a pretty done deal. I think he's going to replace Sal's instantly in this team and just going to move on from there. Still going to be rocking this tactic. It's going to be the same after what he did last year. I think we go back in and do the exact same. Huber comes straight into the team. The rest of the team, though, stays pretty much the same. Now, Ndoye is absolutely fantastic for us that he had that season, so he's got to stay in there. But like I say, we do have the Norwegian lad that can just slip into that position if needs be. We also have Anderson that's going to come in there, who could either replace Mbong or Gibbs-White. So there's a rotation in all positions. It's becoming a little bit stronger, this team, and the squad depth is getting better and better each year. First and foremost, though, we have a Super Cup to play. We have Real Madrid. Let's see how we get on against them. Now we head into the Super Cup final, and I just want to show this off with all the trophies there. It just looks so good. The Europa League and the Champions League there, it looks fantastic. I just had to kind of show that off and just be like, yeah, we got there, and I'm super happy. Now, the opposition, Real Madrid. Let's see how we get on against them. And what's going to happen is we're going to take an early lead here, 12 minutes into the game, and then as Barcola yet again gain on the score sheet for us. But Real Madrid are going to come back in the 60th minute for Phil Foden. Yeah, Phil Foden at Real Madrid, getting a goal for them, and then they're going to score another one on us here, unfortunately, to give them a 2-1 lead. I thought we were doing pretty well, holding them off, but in like 2 minutes of time, they easily go up there, and Mbappe scores an absolute worldie of a goal there for a 2-1. But not all is over, as it seems, as that from Morgan Gibbs-White in the last minutes of the game sends us to penalties. They missed the penalty, and now it is going to be on us to add the pressure. They then take their third penalty, and that is a massive save from our new goalkeeper. 2 penalty misses from Real Madrid, and it all comes down to this one penalty. I have no idea what just happened with my player there, but we actually win the Super Cup on penalties against Real Madrid. 3 penalties they missed, which is absolutely bonkers in my eyes, but that is going to cut to a new scene, and we are going to lift another trophy up for Nottingham Forest. It's been an unbelievable rebuild so far, and we have just one more season left here. Can we do the unthinkable? A Premiership or a Champions League? We've won everything else. Who knows? We will find out. Stick around, because honestly, it's going to get better. And with the momentum of winning that Super Cup, we then go into the Premier League, picking up a 3-1 victory over Norwich, 3-0 victory over Fulham, and a 3-1 victory over West Ham. At the end of January, things are looking pretty good, especially in that Champions League. We managed to finish 6th, picking up 5 victories, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Very good outcome there, considering some of the teams in there, the likes of Liverpool, PSG, Juventus. Honestly, I'm well happy with that. And one of the upsets was actually a trip to Turkey. I feel like we just struggle against Turkish teams away from home. Fenerbahce do get 1 goal by there, and then they go on to pick up the victory in a 2-1 brawl. It was a good game, if I'm honest, but unfortunately, they were just a little bit too strong at the end there, and 2 cracking finishes given the victory. And then a 0-0 draw against Dynamo in Croatia. Not what we needed. And the Champions League kind of just snuck up on us, I'm going to say a little bit there. As we lose at home to Arsenal, we then lose away to Liverpool. We were good previously. We then play Aston Villa, lose against them. Castle, we lose to them. Fulham, we lose to them, and things are starting to look a little bit daunting. But the Premier League it's going all right so far. We're sitting 7th, but if you just have a look there, we're only 11 points off top with Newcastle, but also Champions League, we're only 2 points away from that, so we're not in panic stations. We're 7 points away from 3rd as well. We're all right. We're all right. If we can get back on track now, we haven't got all these games every single week with the Champions League. We just got a couple of knockout stages to do. We should be fine. And as you can see, it's having an effect on the team as well. Kalimundo has only gained us 13 goals this season with 1 assist. Ndoye gained us 9, and Bradley Barcola gained us 8 goals, and Morgan Gibbs-White gained 8. The goals just aren't free-flowing as they were last season, which is a little bit of a concern. We're still rocking the same tactic. Something is not clicking with the team just as it was before. Maybe we change it up a little bit. We'll see. And hopefully we can get some stuff going. End of season for the Champions League. Well, that kind of crumbled away. You know how we did pretty well in it? Yeah. Didn't go well in the knockout stages. Things started pretty well in the first half here as we moved the ball really well, and Barcola is going to get a goal for us. Unfortunately, that is going to wake up the yellow wall, and Dortmund are going to get a goal back, and it's going to come from the corner spot there. A nice little flick on in there. It's an easy tap in for Anton. And then another set piece is going to be flying into the box. Unfortunately, they don't score any goals from open play. It's going to be a 2-1 defeat. We actually get the ball forward, and we start once again taking that lead, thinking that the comeback is on an unbelievable ball, and Barcola yet again scoring for us to make it 2-2 on aggregate. But unfortunately, Dortmund are going to do it in the 94th minute here. A all or nothing ball into the box, and that is such a bad goal to concede from Sal's there. Not ideal, knocked out to the Champions League. So our main focus then had to be the Premier League, and that is what we did. We locked in and we managed to go on a run. Barcola gained a hat-trick against Liverpool in a 4-0 victory. We drew 1-1 with Arsenal, then picked up a 2-1 victory against Spurs. We beat Ipswich 2-0 and then got a 1-1 draw with Manchester United to leave us third in the Premier League for an unbelievable season. 22 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses, and Newcastle managed to win the title. We were only 9 points off from this year, which is a very, very strong play. 74 goals scored, 33 goals conceded, second best in the Premier League. Massive, massive improvement on last year for goals conceded, so we can kind of try and state that into the next steps, as once again, we have Champions League, Season 5. Can we do something special in our last and final season? Board, once again, have given us no money, £14 million in the bank account. It looks like we have got to sell players before we can actually bring any in. And like we said before, we've had a little bit of an off-season with goals, but Barcola did manage to kind of up his standings and get us 21 goals, same as Calimundo with 21 goals. Maybe we start to having a look at Ndoi, try and get him more involved into the game, only with 11 goals and 13 assists. If we can kind of up his goals a little bit, maybe we could have pushed for second or even the title there. Let's get into season number 5, our final one, and try and push for that Champions League. Season 5, and this one is a little bit weird from me. We had that 12 million to spend in our budgets from the chairman. We didn't actually spend a penny. We made no transfers. As you can see there, literally nothing. We sold one player for 2.2 million. He wasn't getting any game time, 26-year-old. But we didn't sign anyone. I literally thought we're going to use the players that are in this team already. They've all had the experience as a team together, and they've all grown 1 year with experience and progression. So I thought this is a big chance for us to actually win something with this team because of how they are playing and how they are together and the molding of the team together. So the morale and the cohesion is just at the top now. And I feel like that is going to be more than bringing in another player that can try and influence this team. If I'm honest, it started off absolutely brilliantly as we hosted Arsenal for the first game of the season, and our fullback is going to get a lovely goal in there. Aina, great goal, 1-0. We then use a lovely bit of play down this right-hand side and actually pull 2 goals ahead here. A lovely little knockdown there from Morgan Gibbs-White. We do concede a goal late on, but it's going to be a 2-1 victory against Arsenal. And then we pick up a 3-2 victory over Chelsea away from home. This is how the team is going to look, though. I have changed one thing, as you know, on the outer possession now. We only have that one DM. I feel like we're a little bit more confident with the team, and we've pushed one more up to try and, when we get the ball, there's going to be more plays in the attacking role, so at the centre mid, helping out Calimundo. We're going to help him out more and try and get that ball forward. So that's the only change that we've made to this tactic now, and he seems to be doing well for us. As you see, we are currently sit 3rd in the Premiership. We played 5 games, won 4, lost 1, and we sit on 12 points. Cracking start to the season. We then carried on that outstanding form as we took it into the Champions League, and we didn't lose a game in the league stages. We finished top of the group there. 8 played, 5 wins, 3 draws. Unbelievable scenes to finish top there. I can't get over it. I'm actually over the moon with that. Our big wins coming from Bayern Munich, Lazio. Whilst we are in the depths of the Champions League, we were picking up wins like this. 3-1 against Spurs. 2-1s against Manchester City. 3-0 against Liverpool. We were doing pretty well, if I don't say so to myself. And then we go into the knockout stages, the last 16, and we draw Frankfurt. Away from home, our superstar in Barcola is going to be the man of the moment. On the stroke of half time, we moved the ball around really well, and we're going to nick a goal, and that is going to give us a 1-goal lead heading into the next leg. And then we comfortably beat them at our place 2-0 to give us a 3-0 victory on aggregate to see us through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I feel like we had a little bit of an easier run going into this Champions League run here, as we do face Lille. First game is going to be a 1-1 Barcola yet again getting on that score sheet for us. But a 1-0 victory away from home in France is going to see us through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Hutchinson with a wonderful rocket there, getting us that victory. As the Champions League semi-final carries on, we draw Barcelona. I will say this was our first real tough test in the knockout stages here at Barcelona, but we actually do really well. Hutchinson with a great pass there, finding Ebong, who gives us a 1-goal lead. We are then going double our tally with a fantastic counter-attack against Barcelona here to give us a 2-goal lead. Kelly Mwendo is going to get on the end of a lovely touch from Hutchinson, and this is a crazy shot, but somehow he beats the goalkeeper, and that's going to be a 2-0 victory at our home. The away leg wasn't quite as easy as the home leg here, as Nico Paz, playing for Barcelona, is going to run all the way down the wing, and he's going to cut it across for an easy goal there to give him a 1-goal lead. Unfortunately for us, a misplaced pass is going to lead to them getting a second goal here, putting it 2-2, level pegging, and being away from home and having it so it's extra time at a away leg is not good at all. But it does see us going down to penalties as we hold them off here. Danny Olmo misses the penalty. A huge save from our goalkeeper yet again, who has been super clutch for us in the penalty shootouts, European and in the Champions League. No matter what, he is there for us. Kelly Mwendo gives us a nice goal there to give us a 1-goal advantage in the semi-finals here. William Saliba is going to be the man going to shoot, and it's another save from Huber. It is absolutely lovely scenes as that knocks out Barcelona and puts us through to the final of the Champions League. Whilst this has all been going on, we have still been picking up and playing in the Premier League. Now, we have dropped off a little bit of form here, but we did pick up an 8-0 victory over Brentford, which is absolutely great to see. We also find ourselves in the FA Cup final as well, taking on Chelsea. One of the finals, the FA Cup. We are live at Wembley. It is nice to be here. And he starts actually getting into a cup final as well. I'm not going to lie there. So super happy about this. Chelsea, the opponent. This one is definitely going to be a difficult one. Some tired players in our team, and it's going to prove different here straight away, as it's going to be Ardagula getting a goal in the early stages for Chelsea to give him a 1-goal lead. And then it's that man again, the Turkish sensation, Ardagula, with another goal to double the tally for Chelsea. It's a big ask to come back from here. Unfortunately, in the second half, it's going to be a corner whipped in. Matt O'Reilly is going to get 3 goals, and that is going to be a victory for Chelsea, as they are going to pick up the FA Cup and see us, unfortunately, knocked out and leaving us hoping that we win one of these finals as we now head into that wonderful Champions League game against PSG. Now, I did not think I was going to be here, especially in 5 seasons, but we have proved to be doing well with this team, and it's just clicking as we have a Champions League final. I don't know why we're playing with a basketball, but we are, and it's not going to be the best start for us as PSG get an early goal, a glorious header from a corner, rising like a salmon, just put it past us for 1-0. But we didn't take that sitting down. We actually went and pushed on, get a little cut back here, and it is going to be a goal from Ndoi, a absolute fantastic strike to back to 1-1. We then did one of the goals of our whole rebuild. Just watch this all the way from the back. This is starting from our centre-halves. This is a Champions League final against PSG, and we are going to work this ball all the way through. Absolute brilliant football. Barcola with every single penny. What a finish for that is. 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. And our third goal is going to come from a corner. I don't know why, but no one goes for Valle. They just let him go there. He does a little step in, hits it. It's 3-1. We actually take the lead to 3-1. And we go on and win the Champions League 3-1 against PSG. Just look at that trophy in all its glory. Nottingham Forest back to the top of European football. An unbelievable scene from us, an unbelievable rebuild from us, and to actually win the Champions League is unbelievable. I genuinely can't believe that we've done it. I'm so happy that we've done it as well, but it is a great way for the 5 seasons that we have had at Nottingham Forest. An unbelievable rebuild, and I am proper chuffed with how well we have been done. Now, that is going to be the end of the rebuild for me. A Champions League in the bag within 5 seasons with Nottingham Forest. Not the best of finishes in the Premiership. 6th, I know, I'm not going to lie about that, but we had 2 finals there, a FA Cup final, Champions League. We won the Champions League to win 2 Europa Leagues as well. I think it's safe to say that we got Nottingham Forest back into European glory for sure. They ain't going nowhere. If they can build on that team, concentrate a little bit on the Premiership, there is no doubt in my mind that they can win this Premier League. Guys, thank you so much for joining me and watching this rebuild. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a bit of a longer one, so I apologise for that, but if you can, please leave a like, hit the subscribe. It does help the channel out massively, and I can't thank you all enough. You've been absolute legends. Leave some comments down if you want to see a rebuild that you want. I will be grateful for any recommendations in there. You guys are honestly legends. I appreciate you so much. I'll catch you all next time. Much love, and bye-bye.